Okay, shh, Emily, ma'am.
So like right now, I don't know. I think there's nothing.
We don't want to talk about it.
Alright.
Because there are people that we expect more from that failed. Yeah.
Do you know any of them?
Yeah.
There's some of them in the group?
Yeah.
That's awful. I'm so sorry.
And you have to drop them, huh?
We have to have some meeting.
So in other words, drop them. But
Not necessarily.
Like the little things.
an application.
It depends.
Like probation, you mean like punishment?
Like I feel bad for them. Like they're not.
I don't-
Like praying. They like get dropped out of like all these clubs and stuff.
I don't feel bad for them.
Because they're like their whole entire life from this point in high school is kind of ruined.
Their name is tainted.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
That's on them. They should know better. Like they're smart kids. Like the people who did it, like they're a bunch of smart kids. So it's like there's no excuse why
or
they
maybe
should do
they're
that.
just smart because they keep cheating.
I'm going to be honest. When I tell you that more than 2 AP classes is too much, I mean it. More than 2 AP classes is too much. So when you stress yourself out that much and you make yourself, like you then are stuck with the thought of, well, I can't get anything less than this, and you've held yourself to such a high expectation that when you start to feel yourself slipping, they don't want to slip, so then they went to the extreme. Does that make sense? So you need to reevaluate when you take your classes, that AP classes, it's so pretty, isn't it?
So bright.
Yeah.
That is so
Like I can see the colors like popping out of my face.
Like you can see the lines.
Everything else is saying is Dave.
You guys interrupted.
Wow. But does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I've already had a conversation with,
Just making us write an essay about it.
What cheating?
About cheating.
Oh my god.
well, you guys realize you can, when you do that in college, you're expelled.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
She said it's like
Don't they have like this plagiarism?
Any plagiarism, anything like that in college, you are
Don't
expelled.
they like a machine?
that's where I
The checks and page? Like
give you a
plagiarism?
There's websites that do that for you, yeah.
And that's more than 4 paragraphs.
What's today, 25?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm missing a day because I didn't write notes yesterday because we had issues, so
I want to get all I'm at.
we're going to pretend I did,
I don't know why, but this looks so satisfying.
we're going to pretend I actually wrote notes yesterday in my notebook. I didn't because obviously we didn't have a projector. So you're going to have that table, that title.
That makes me want that rainbow one. Rainbow. What's it called?
Sherbert.
That one.
So I will be off on, what page were you on? 60 what?
9.
9? Okay.
Today.
Then I'll just say that.
Fine. What?
Arc measures.
Are those as long as yesterday?
A little shorter.
Because 4th period, you might have period.
We good?
I told them all about that whole thing. And I was talking about me. I'm like, I'm a sophomore. And she's like, oh yeah, Mom.
Alright, so I'm going to ignore the notes. It was an AP US history. But with one teacher. Not both. It was pretty much the whole class. Yeah. Yeah.
One person took pictures of it. Sent to the whole class.
How they find it? They all got the same.
When you get 100% on every single reading quiz for 3 days in a row, and it's like 90% of the class, there's something wrong.
So give them a new test, and they put the same answers down. Because they don't take tests. Yeah.
And then they failed.
Yep. So then you come back to this.
That's dumb on them. Why would you keep getting 100% as possible?
My dad even said that. I said, oh, don't worry about it. I don't know.
I learned my lesson last year.
What, resentment?
Yep. Don't cheat, guys. It's not a laughing matter, honestly. Like, just don't cheat.
The way you say it, though.
It's not funny.
Yeah, on a task. That's why tasks don't go home anymore.
That's why
That's in a while, huh?
That's why what?
tasks do not go home. Because people like 4th period last year.
You were at Health Academy.
At Health Academy, let's just put it that way.
Literally, like, there's like 3 or 2 students that were in Health Academy. Like,
There was like 5, they were business.
they were business academy. The rest of us were all
Wait,
Health
I
Academy.
heard that only, like, the entire classes have 2 students. That's what he was saying.
It's pretty much the whole class, yeah.
That's like, it's just crazy. Oh my gosh. Like, I get it if like 2, 3 people cheat. Not that's good, but you would get it, but like, oh, they like didn't form the team.
It's
Like, you're like, okay, you're gonna get the picture, okay, you're gonna send them. Like,
There was like a couple, there was like one person on there for sure that I know didn't cheat. Because she doesn't have a phone, so it's like, how would she have this stuff? And she got her name on there, but she doesn't have a phone. I don't think you can help her.
It's too obvious. Like, could you
She
imagine?
could have, someone could have wrote them down, given you her.
come on. Actually, you know what? If they went as far as to take a picture.
My thing is this, first of all, let's just be honest. If you had a lookout and you had someone taking the picture, what was the rest of the class doing? Obviously, you knew it was happening. So at that point, you should have said something.
Rat them out?
Yeah, no one knows who ratted them out.
Oh, that's true.
There's 20 in the class, 2 are the ones in charge, let's just say, right? So that means 18 of you sat there willingly watching them do the thing. That means 18 of you could have reported it. Make sense? So I would say, yeah, they're all in trouble.
Wait, do they tell like the universities that they like went in or like the universities?
They're juniors.
So does it go on the record when they apply for?
Basically, like,
It depends what the consequence is. Okay, so central angle is an angle whose vertex is the center of the circle. You need to know the difference because tomorrow I'm going to add in other angles and it's not necessarily going to be the same type, so it's going to switch it up. So you might want to memorize or know central and center go together. Minor arc. The points on circle C that lie in the interior of the central angle. It's going to be less than 180 degrees.
Points on circle C.
Uh-huh. So minor arc are the points on circle C that lie in the interior of the central angle. That is so bright compared to my paper.
I feel like after a while it's gonna hurt my eyes.
I might have to turn down the brightness. It's less than 180 degrees. Got it? Next word, major arc. The points on circle C that do not lie on the minor arc AB. Yes, that is curved over AB to represent the arc. Got it? I'm going to draw a picture, which is why AB will make sense in a second, but I wanted you to give bold definitions before I do that. Hey, someone want to move that magnet that's way up there that I can't reach? Thanks, Brandon. Just put it out, like, up here.
What?
Yeah, just move it, like, over here. Perfect. Questions? Yeah, huh? represents the circle, which is the arc. All right, circle. C. E. A. D. I'm gonna put too much conditioner in my hair. I'm gonna put too much conditioner in my hair. It's like super soft and like, ooh.
Since you have short hair, since you have short hair, you put conditioner on your entire scalp, huh? I was thinking about that. I was like, huh. Because isn't it like unhealthy to put like conditioner on your scalp? Doesn't make your hair fall out?
No.
My mom tells me not to put it on my scalp because it's gonna make my hair fall off. My mom says a lot of things. She tells me if my hair is wet and I put it in a bun, my hair is gonna turn gray.
That's not true.
She tells me so many things. Like I don't believe everything.
If you put too much on your hair, yeah.
Like nice and like flat with the front.
Okay, listen. When you put conditioner in your hands, you put it at the bottom. What's left over, you put at the top. Because this part is still hair. You don't want to put it so much because what happens then you make your hair greasy if you put a lot. You don't want to look like you didn't wash your hair. But when you put it at the bottom and then the leftover goes to the top. Because and when you put your hair in a bun and it's wet, it's not going to give you gray hair. No. What's going to happen is it's going to stay wet and it won't dry.
Yeah, obviously.
That's about it.
Sarah, come on, what would cause the hair to turn gray?
I don't know. She said that. I don't know. Like I just believe her because like.
Google it.
You're right.
Okay, here we go. Now that we've clarified that. Here we go. This is a minor arc. Minor arc is from here to here. Bless you. Notice it is small. Yes, less than 180. This is minor arc AB. We put a curve over AB to represent the arc. An arc looks like the circle. Make sense? Okay, that's where that comes from. Just like segment is a straight, looks like a same thing. My major arc is this part over here. So the green part is your major arc. Now usually, not always, but usually we use 3 letters to represent a major arc. Do you understand? So this is going to be arc, sorry, A, D, B. Or what'd you say? BDA. The same thing, yeah. B, D, A. As long as you have all 3 letters, because if you just said A, B, or B, A, then that doesn't tell you which way to go around the circle. Does that make sense? So if I just said AB, well that doesn't make sense because I could go this way or I could go this way. But if I say major arc and I use another letter to represent a point on the circle, then it makes sense. Do you understand that? Okay, usually we use 3 letters to represent a major arc. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes it does represent a minor arc, it just depends on the measure, okay? So just be aware that sometimes 3 letters is used for a minor arc as well. Got it?
Because it just tells you the side it went, right? Tells you what side it went.
Yeah. You have to know the measure of it. And as long as it's less than what? 180, then it's a minor arc. Okay? Semicircle. We know semicircle represents what? Half a circle. But we're talking arc, so it's an arc whose endpoints are the endpoints of the diameter. In other words, it's still half the circle. But we're looking at the arc, so we're not looking at like the inside part, we're looking at the arc of the circle. Do you understand? So we're still talking arc, so we're still talking like this. So circle C, oops, B and A. Doesn't matter, but we're talking this. Yeah? Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, measure of minor arc. The measure of the minor arc is the measure of the central angle. We write it like this, measure of arc AB. We say measure of arc AB. Just like the measure of angle A, we put the little m in the front, you're still putting the little m in front of your measure of the arc. Let's talk about the measure of the major arc. The measure of the major arc is the difference between 360 degrees and the minor arc. Why 360? That's a whole circle. So what does difference mean? Subtract. So it's a difference between 360 and the minor arc. Difference is subtract. 360 is a whole circle. Sorry. Okay? Arc addition postulate. Arc addition postulate. I'm going to draw a picture which will make sense. Arc addition postulate says that the measure of arc ABD, which is from here to here to here, the whole thing, yes? This whole piece right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Is is equal to the measure of arc AB, which is this piece, plus, because it's addition, the measure of arc BD. Right? Make sense? So if I want to know the whole thing, and I know this piece, and I know this piece, then I can do what with them? I can add them. Make sense? Okay. And then if I wanted to know the other side, if I know this whole piece, I could just do what? Subtract it. Make sense? Well, it's pretty easy at that point. Just adding. Okay, let's do an example of this one. Find the measure of the arcs. I also want you to name if they're minor, major, or semicircle. So you're going to find the measure of the arcs. You're also going to identify if they're major, minor, or semicircle. Good? All right. Your arc is going to be arc RS, arc RTS, and lastly arc RST. I'll let you write it. Oops, excuse me. We good? All right, so RS, arc RS. So find arc RS on the picture. Do you see it? What do you know? It's 100 and what? 10 degrees. So is that major or minor? So let's label it as minor arc. Since it's a minor arc, we now know that the measure of arc RS is equal to, how much did you say? 110. Because remember, it says whatever the measure of the angle is the measure of the arc. Do you understand? Whatever the central angle is measuring is the same measure as the arc. So if this is 110 angle, this is also 110. Make sense? Okay, and next thing is saying from R to T to S. First of all, is that a major or a minor or a semi?
That's a major.
That is a major arc. I already passed the halfway mark, which makes it already major. Now, the whole thing has no measure, but I do know that this is 110, so what do I do?
360.
Good, 360 minus 110 is how much? 250. So I can say that the measure of arc RTS is equal to how much? 250 what? Degrees. Try the last one by yourself. It's the measure of arc RST. The measure of arc RST. Major, minor, or semi? It is a semicircle. How do I know it's semicircle? It is half. Alright, so it's a semicircle. What do I know?
But it's 1/2.
The measure of arc RST is equal to how much?
180.
180 degrees. Good. Good? Yeah.
What's the difference between RTS and SC?
The way you follow the circle. So if you go RTS, R, you can't go this way because that's not T to S. So I gotta go R, T to S. Whereas the other one is R, S to T. Okay, gotta follow the letters. Okay? Here we go. Last part. Talk about congruent circles. Congruent circles are two circles, sorry, I'm losing my voice, that have the same radius. Two circles that have the same radius. They have to have the same radius for them to be congruent. True, right? They have to be exactly the same size. If they're not the same size, then they're not congruent. So circle C is congruent to circle D. Good? Okay. Congruent arcs. Congruent arc says two arcs that have the same measure and they come from the same circle or congruent circles. So you can have congruent arcs, but they have to have the same measure. They need to come from the same circle or they need to come from congruent circles. It's kind of common sense, yeah? Very good. I have the odds. Question? Good? Example 2. Measuring arcs. Oops, we're going to pretend that's coming straight from there. You have to draw the 90 degrees? No. They might draw the 90 degree sign or they might just put the actual measure in. So if they put the perpendicular sign, then you know it's 90 degrees. Here are the questions. I want you to find the measure of arc RU, but I still want you to identify if it's major, minor, or semi, okay? You're also going to find the measure of arc RST. You don't have to go in order, just so you know. Some are easier than others. You're also going to find the measure of arc RVT. And lastly, the measure of arc UST. Try it. You can ask around you. Start with what you know. Or if you knew one. What's the first thing you want to do? Ignoring the questions. Find the one you know. Or, what do you do with this piece? Where do you find that piece, right? Yeah. Okay, so what do you want to do here? Add everything up. So, yeah, and subtract from 360. So add 110 and 90. That's easier to add. What's that? 200 plus 30. 230 plus 60. 290. So 360 minus 290 is 70 degrees. Okay. Now do I need to worry about anything? No. Now just add. So you want the measure of arc RU. RU. Notice there's only two letters, so that means I only want to go the short way. Understood? So I'm going from R to U. Major or minor? What is a minor arc? I already have it labeled as measure of arc RU, so I can just give the angle measure, which is how much? 130. How did you get 130? You added 60 plus 70 to get 130. This isn't that hard, guys. Measure of arc RST. Put your pencil on R. Find S. Go to T. So I'm looking at this. I'm adding what? 110 and 30, which is how much? 140 degrees. Is that major, minor, or semi? Minor. Remember I said 3 letters doesn't always mean it's a major arc. It just determines on which way to go. Based on the amount, 140 is less than how much? 180, which makes it a minor arc. Understood? Good. The measure of arc RVT. 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 What am I adding?
90,
I'm adding 60, 70, and 90, which is a total of what? 220? Major, minor, or semi? Major. Okay. Measure of arc UST. UST. All of it. So I can do this one of two ways. I can add them all up or subtract 90 from 360. Whatever is easier for you to do. What is 360 minus 90? It is 270. Or it's the same thing as saying 70 plus 60 plus 110 plus 30. Either way is the same. Got it? Major or minor? There you go. Questions? Was it really that hard?
No.
No. Did you stare at it looking like it was hard? Yeah, 90% of you did. Only a few of you were actually writing, which means only a few of you were actually trying. It really isn't that hard. I'm adding and subtracting.
I just messed up on the minor and major. So
You can't do those until you have to find your angle. Or your measure. Does that make sense? Once I know how much my arc is measuring, then I can say if it's major or minor.
yeah, because I forgot because I thought since the rest are oh, just because it has 3 doesn't mean it's
Right. So then if you add up your numbers and you see it's less than how much? 180, then I know it's a what? Minor arc. Because I'm going from U to S to T, which is the whole piece, just not this piece. So I can subtract.
This is something like SUV.
SUV?
Yeah,
So I'm going to go this way.
so it'd be 180, that would be similar.
Yeah.
Oh,
As long as it adds up to 180. Is that
is that go to 190?
190? So it's still not semi. It's still major.
That's a major.
Yeah. There's no 180 on this one on purpose. Question? We good? Yeah. Okay. Your homework. Remember, you're still writing a summary, but let's write our homework since my projector is on. Your homework is in the geometry book. Doesn't stand for green book, stands for geometry book. Page 661. Numbers 3 through 10. Number 12. And then 29 through 34. 29 through 34 are review. This is old stuff. That is the only new stuff. Do you understand? Must you draw your picture for the circles? Yes. Is one circle going to probably answer most of these questions? Yes. Okay? So draw the one circle and then answer each question. You don't have to draw the circle multiple times. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, make sure your work is at least folded, make it nice and pretty. This whole section I think is one problem, so make it like half the page or something on your paper. Got it? We good?
29 through 34 is a review of what we learned yesterday.
Not necessarily.
Okay. Alright.
It's a review of skills you needed that we did yesterday. So remember that box I drew on the board?
Okay.
We have 4 minutes. If you want to take a picture of the book in the meantime, you can. If I were you, I'd be writing a summary also, so your summaries are done.
Yeah, never leave your summary for the last one. I did that last year.
And then they stink.
We're gonna take pictures.
And your summaries aren't good.
Last year I used to write about my day.
Yes. And I read it.
And you what?
Today, me and Jason were fighting.
She would write that? Oh my gosh.
Today I got kicked out of the room for talking.
I would send you outside.